Welcome everybody to the first installment of the Millennial Money Guide. It's Alex here, and I want to start off this series by talking about what I think is the most important way to begin your financial journey, and that's with a high yield savings account. Now, I didn't start with one myself, but because of that, I missed out on a lot of interest that I could have gained while I was creating my emergency fund. So let's talk about that. So why start here instead of with a 401k or with stock investing or even with paying off all your debt? Well, if you have an emergency like an unexpected car repair or a medical procedure that comes up, or even just a change of your living situation, your roommate or your partner no longer are living together, you're gonna need this money for that rainy day so that you don't have to start using your credit cards, which could hit you with like 14 to 25% interest annually. Now, an emergency fund is usually categorized as 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. So to find out how much you'll need to save, you'll need to calculate your own monthly expenses. To give you an idea, I'll add up mine. And to give you a little bit of context, I live in Austin, Texas. So between things like my phone, insurance, internet, groceries, gas, rent, and utilities, I pay about $1,600. Once you've figured out what your expenses are, how much money do you have left over that we're gonna consider or call our fun money? Well, at this point, it's up to you to figure out how much of that excess money you're gonna put towards your emergency fund. And I understand, I'm 28 years old. You gotta have money that you spend on hanging out with friends or just spending money that makes you happy. But remember, you have a goal, and the faster that you meet that goal, the better you're gonna feel whenever you do spend some extra money on something that you enjoy or going out with friends. A couple of ways that you can get started with your emergency fund are using money that comes to you throughout the year. Things like your tax return. Maybe you get $1,000 or $2,000. Put some of that towards your emergency fund. And if you work and you get a bi-weekly check, you usually get 2 extra paychecks during the year. One usually around the middle of the year, and then another one near the end of the year. You can put that into your emergency fund as well. So these are great ways that you can get started. But with that as well, we're speaking to 3 to 6 months of expenses to get started with. But even if you just get started with something small, $1,000, get $1,000 into your emergency fund, that's gonna protect you from a good number of these situations, these emergencies that could happen. Now, what do you get out of putting your money into a high yield savings account? Well, I'm gonna use NerdWallet for some context. Most high yield savings accounts from notable banks like American Express, Capital One, and Discover have a savings of 1.70% annually, which is so much higher than the bank that you're using right now with your debit card, which is usually giving you about 0.10% annually. And I know 1.70% doesn't sound like a whole lot whenever you talk to your friends about, investing in the stock market, but this is money that you're gonna use in a hard time, a difficult situation, and you can get this money back by just a tap of a button on your smartphone. Now that I have about 4 months of expenses saved up in my high yield savings account, it makes me feel more secure that if an emergency were to come up, I'd be able to cover that. Or even if I want to change jobs, I don't have to be making the same exact amount of money as I am right now to continue the lifestyle that I have. And that's truly freeing. Thanks for checking out the first installment of the Millennial Money Guide. If this video was helpful for you, give it a like and subscribe, because I've got a lot of financial videos that I want to share with you to help you with your financial journey. And as always, I'll see you down in the comments, and you'll see me in the next video.